Okay, hit me.
Right, let me just alrighty. I'm gonna flip on a recorder here in my pocket. Not gonna be used anywhere else except for my own notes. Is that all right?
Sure, completely fine.
Alrighty. So I've been put in charge of the investigation into the highwayman, and it's currently myself, Anita, and Ashley Smith who are working together to cover all the shifts because this is a large, encompassing case, as I'm sure you're aware. Now, there we go. So I'm doing the best I can to kind of just make sure my phone's off. I just want to make sure I'm doing the best I can to, gather all the information that I can, and ensure that Lily is found as soon as possible. Now, before we begin, I need to understand your level of knowledge into the things that kind of surround the highwayman. If I say, I'm gonna say a word. I need you to give me the first two initials that come to your mind, and that'll tell me if you know or not. All right?
Okay.
Lighthouse.
Numbing bones.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you just said the word. Yeah. All right. How familiar with him in his whole thing?
Far too familiar, I'm afraid.
Alrighty. All right. So we have that level of understanding then. So I'm not one to believe in the supernatural, but I trust Jeffrey Bundy, and Jeffrey Bundy seems to believe in this. So I'm working with what I got. Now, I know you were attacked by the highwayman quite some time ago. Is that correct?
Yes.
Alrighty. Do you remember the date of that?
Can I have a look at my MDW?
Yeah, of course. I searched for a while to see if I could find it. To no luck.
I might be able to find something in the IA reports. Can I not search? Okay, I can't search a word within IA reports. I have to search. I'm going to search Bass and see if there is anything. The issue is they only go back 4 or 5 months.
You stated to me that Bass and someone was meeting with TJ Walker.
Yes. In essence, what happened was Bass Bass called himself. This was not too long after TJ left the PD, and he currently had a warrant. Now, I didn't think about it at the time, but Bass said 3-on-1, I'm 10-7 at my house. I'm a very inquisitive person, and I was rather proactive as internal affairs, and Bass had certainly been on my radar. So
I wonder why.
Yeah, I wonder
especially
why.
at that time.
And then I looked at the GPS, and Bass and Brian were at Grapeseed PD. And obviously, I thought, one, he's lying on. Well, I assumed he was lying on 311. And then obviously he has a certain history at that place. Hence why there was suspicion around him anyway. So I went up there. I didn't, do a welfare check or anything because obviously I thought there was something fishy going on. I pulled up. There was a car parked on the hill. I don't think I saw a police car. I can't remember. But I went down, walked all the way down into the torture room, where I saw Bass and Brian having a conversation with TJ Walker, who was wanted for 8 times attempted murder of a government employee. No handcuffs, no nothing. And I said, what's going on here? Doesn't he have a warrant? Brian then shouted at me to get outside. I did. There were then 3 of them wanting for me to leave, but I wanted to make sure TJ was going to be in handcuffs when he left. So I didn't leave, and I was there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, at which point I was stabbed in the back by the highwayman. He said something about maybe the highwayman's back or some. I can't remember what he said at all. It wasn't particularly important to me at the time when there was a knife in my back. And obviously, TJ Walker, in air quotes here, got away. And it was my fault, apparently.
Okay. And since then, have you heard of anything about the highwayman pertaining to him? Anything like that?
Yes, well, my husband was on the case back in the day. So he's told me that they used to leave people next to explosive containers and leave a note and then blow up those containers. I don't exactly know the name of the highwayman, but I do know his surname, which is
Go ahead.
Speedwagon.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? There's only us 2 here, Odessa.
I imagine that's just some sort of gang violence or something outside. All right. And Smith is going to make her way at some point when she's done with her cadet.
Okay.
Okay. And you know this from Rhodes?
No, I know this word of mouth. Believe the source is Pez.
Okay.
Though I'm airing a lot of dirty laundry here, I'm doing it for the right reasons, so forgive me. Pez's real name is Cody Speedwagon.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Pez and the Highwayman were taken by Norman Bones. It's very blurry for me on all the details on that. Again, I was not a supernatural person until very recently.
You say that with some sort of pain in your voice. Is everything okay?
Depends what you know about Norman.
Last 48 hours have been very eye-opening for me. And let's just say I know quite a lot about him.
Well, he's got active threats against my family currently. So yeah, things are pretty difficult. at the minute. But I'm
Now, who's he making the threats to?
all of us. Me,
Um,
Matt, Flop.
so Flop's the lead on that case. So I don't want to step too far into it. But just so I have an understanding, have any of you made a deal?
Yes.
Who?
Technically, it's me and Matt, but all three of us. Flop, not so much. He wasn't there. He wasn't present at the time.
And what was the deal?
The deal is that he won't kill me or my husband or my son if we give him someone else.
Who did you offer?
We didn't offer anybody. That was just the deal that was made. Norman likes to call me and remind me that at some point it's going to have to be someone that he chooses that we know. Well, I don't know whether he chooses them, but at least someone that we know. I guess we're close to. I assume it'd be someone that he wants dead.
Hey. Oh god. I don't know where in here you guys are. You downstairs.
Upstairs.
Upstairs. Okay. Why can I not just jump on this balcony like a mad woman?
Oh shit! You forgot the memo yesterday. Myself and Anita got like cool LA Noir outfits, but we'll get you one later.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll get you one later. It's okay. So Dark here, Dark. Ashley's familiar with a lot of the
This is
cases.
the closest I have.
Yeah, it's fine. Dark here was just telling me about how he's made a deal with Norman Bones.
Oh?
Is Matt Rhodes still on duty?
I think he just went off duty. He just went home.
Okay. I'll have to speak to him in the future then. Yeah, Norman Bones isn't my case. It's Flop's case. But
Yeah.
at least we know. At least we know.
Norman seems tied to this whole whatever. I understand.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So Dark was the first victim of the hype.
Someone crying? Hello?
Who is that?
Ma'am?
Pond.
Hello?
Is it Pond?
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hello? Winston, do you hear that? I just want to go home.
Pond?
Pond? Please.
Come away.
What's that? Hello?
Hello again. Good to speak to you again.
I beat up one with the flashlight.
Nah, no need to threaten him. You want to have a chat, Highwayman, or you want to just play games?
I'm just here to count the bodies.
The bodies. Well, you've got
You're
one.
the next one to go, Doc.
Yeah, we'll see.
Interesting.
I thought you abandoned your previous goals. Are you still on them? I mean, you were a poet before. Why didn't you leave us a poem with Lily? What changed?
Peter, you want to talk?
Peter.
Fear tactics. Lovely.
Are you just not as creative anymore? Retreading the same ground, trying to seem more important than you are. I mean, we don't even really need this
Stop
guy
that.
anymore.
You gotta try and go to the disembodied voice.
Yeah, let's not piss it off.
Punch.
Can you hear us, Bond?
I have a question for you, Peter. You were given a gift.
Quiet. Paperwork.
A gift to come back. A gift to do your own thing. Separate from the, body of your two sons. But the man who gave you the gift, you're no longer forwarding his goals, are you? That's what I thought.
Is that
Oh,
your
Ma.
question?
What would Daddy Bones think of you right now?
I thought we weren't goading the serial killer. I found the.
What'd you say? Smith, you're whispering there.
Sorry, I thought we weren't goading the serial killer.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm just curious.
I found the poem.
Ah, he's got plenty.
As sure as the sun will rise and the rains will fall, all the roads will lead you
to the
home.
highway.
All roads lead to the highway.
That's why he brought me back.
For the highways.
But you think you can
That's
go
fucking
past him?
spooky, dude. That was fucking spooky. I got goosebumps.
Oh, I'm still tethered. And I'm gnawing through that leash.
Where's Pond?
Oh.
What Norman did was make me just as invulnerable as he is. I'm not
Ah!
scared of Norman.
Well, Peter, you bleed. You left a good amount of blood on the scene.
What's a bit of blood?
And if I'm not mistaken, you and Cody are in the same predicament here, and Cody for sure bleeds, sure as real as possible. You just happen to have a little bit more tricks up your sleeve, it seems.
You used to have morals. You used to be a punisher of those who acted unjustly. What did Pond do to you?
Nothing at all.
It's because she means something to him, isn't it?
Anyone that stands beside Cody will die. Anyone that stands beside the bastard that murdered my wife.
Your wife? And what's her name?
It doesn't matter.
I mean, if you want someone to look into the murder of your wife to ensure that, justice is brought.
I don't change them out here. Like, maybe you can enlighten me. You were punishing people that you thought were doing bad. Now you're just picking up anybody that might make you feel an emotion, that might make you feel like you still have a connection to the body you used to occupy. Is that what this is? It's quiet.
Yeah, he does this.
He just runs away when the questions get hard.
Yeah.
Sorry, not provoking the supernatural serial killer. Sorry.
I literally came here because I thought it'd be quiet and I could do paperwork.
I guess you're right.
You know, it's unfortunate for our friend. I don't know if he's still here or not. He's got about a month, maybe a little more. You know what Halloween and the Day of the Dead is all about?
It's when the spirit realm is closer to our realm.
Exactly.
The thinning of the walls. Especially what Day of the Dead is. It's a remembrance of the ancestors, because it's believed that for that one day that they can walk the world again, even if it's in a metaphorical sense.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing for us?
Depends on who your ancestors are, I suppose. But I've been told he's been given a meat shell, and if he's got a meat shell, it shouldn't matter that much unless there's other things that are going to come through for him. Just entirely possible.
Now the question is, at the end of that day, are you going to be in that shell, or are you going to be floating around like you are right now?
Hear that?
Yeah,
The
what?
silence?
No, there was something else. Different noise. It was echoing. I don't know.
Can I hush it down?
Yeah, go ahead, Dark.
And those are the detectives down there. Doc's, at this point, is a victim in this whole situation. That, whatever the fuck those two just said about Halloween too, that's either gonna make or break whether we do this on Halloween. Like, is it a good thing that we should do it on Halloween? Like, are they weaker? Are they stronger? Dark Lord's just too strong? Yeah, I agree. Can someone tell me why this story's so cool? Because it's so cool. I think, yeah, we'll Google it, but I kind of want to find out in character. I wonder if there's anybody we can talk to in character. Like, we missed a call the other day from the preacher. I'm very sorry. Like, I'm very sad that I missed that. Who's this again? Imnimru. Yeah. Check the confessionals at the church. I missed the call. Can you sit smoke? Is that a thing? I don't see wild up here, but nah. We could do some cool like if we thing is I want to find some people who are like into that supernatural, like who have done the supernatural roleplay for a while. Because imagine if we got like someone who's always like roleplayed as like a witch or like a shaman or something, and we can get them to like on Halloween night, we could try and get them to like put something around us at whatever location we are that like summons some fucking spirits or whatever that will keep the highwayman and the other like Norman Bones and the Chicken Man and everything, all the bad people, all the bad ones away from us, so we can have like a private meeting that Norman can't listen in on and shit. That could be pretty cool. Circle protect anything, honestly, anything. Anything that will give us a bit of privacy, you know? Less bullets and really... Yeah, so they were trying to kill him the first time around. But, obviously this meeting's about... Well... how to get rid of him. I'm just waiting. We're waiting for these guys at the minute. Another plane? Maybe. Kirby, thank you for the raid, by the way. Sorry I missed it. And Brizzy, thank you for gifting us up to Kirby. I appreciate you. Everyone joined at the spooky time. I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. And fucking Lady Hope, dude. Making me cry. Nearly. If that fucking voice line had gone on any longer, I would have been bowling, alright? Would have been bowling. Oh shit. I just had an idea. Oh my god. Hold on. Right. Oh, I just had a really good idea.
You do, Doc.
Oh, I'm alright. I just, you know, you guys are the one investigating this stuff. I'm just muddled up in the middle of it.
Oh, I'm not investigating.
Oh, you know?
No, I just get dragged in regardless.
Yeah. You're not involved in any of this, are you?
Are you asking if I've made a deal?
Mm-hmm.
No, the only way to win Norman's game is to not play.
Good. Do you know anybody who is? involved.
Everybody and their mother.
Yeah.
Did it speak to Rhodes about your, at least his end of the deal?
You did? What did he say?
It's more what I said.
Go on.
They said can't really petty your way out of it, or lawyer your way out of it. He'll collect if he wants to collect. And then I asked to be frank. He gave me permission. I said he sounded desperate. But at the same time, makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're forced to take a deal, you're gonna be desperate.
No one's
Well-
gonna fault you for caring about your family, Dark.
Well, I just told Odessa, but the deal that we made with Norman was that for me, Matt, and Flop to not be murdered, we were to give him somebody else. Now, we haven't given him anybody else, and we don't... We're not really, interested in attending that call. So, I am putting together, as I'm sure you're aware, there's a lot of people involved in this whole mess. And I'm putting together a council, or a summit, as it were, this upcoming, well, I haven't quite decided the date, but what you two just said, Halloween might be a good call. Where everybody can actually finally get together and talk and try and figure this mess out, instead of everyone just going off on their own and doing their own thing, which I don't blame anybody for doing. It's what I nearly did. But just to remind people that they're not in this alone, and they don't have to do things alone, and that Norman, I don't believe he's inevitable, so I don't think he's permanent either.
Don't either, but I have my own theories on all of this. I don't think he's a god of death. But
He doesn't
he's
call
kinda
himself a god.
No, I don't think he's related to death in that much so as he's a god of life or a member of life. You know what I mean? He's in between. Purgatory isn't either. Now, granted, sounds like he's some sort of psychopomp or like a Charon figure. But
You're saying purpose. He's the puppy. He decides who gets to come in and who doesn't.
what'd you say? He's
It's
Cerberus.
Cerebin. He's the dog.
I think he's more.
I know he's more like
I don't
Charon
know
the
if-
ferryman, but
is he
it's just
fairy
funny.
Well, he reminds me of his Davy Jones.
Well, the
it's
whole
kinda
deal
more like
thing
the
matches the
ferryman.
classical interpretation of death, especially in medieval times, as someone that you could barter with a game.
Yeah.
Like, there's all these stories about people playing a game with death or making a deal with death, and then, like,
My issue with thinking of him as some sort of inevitability. My
he's a
issue with
reaper. That's what it is.
He's a reaper. I don't think he's in control of like purgatory. And my reasoning here is first off, he is already very well known across the city, right? If he's existed for how many ever, I mean, if he's eternal, people would have known about purgatory way before there was ever biblical mentions of it. Purgatory didn't exist until like the 1500s, 1600s. But if he's some sort of eternal being, and he's so willing to just make himself known. Why wasn't purgatory talked about before then?
Norman wasn't.
Norman was a man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just talking about. I know Norman. It's the body he encompasses, and it's the name he takes. I don't know if he's some sort of eternal being or it's literally Norman Bones who has taken on this role. I mean, he stated
That's what
that
he said.
him and Death walked into a room and he came out. But like, there's things in mythology where demons, creatures, spirits can have their own realms. And that's what I'm kind of beginning to think here is like, he's got his own, he does his own jazz. But like, the Highwayman might be similar as well. I don't think Pond is wherever Pez, Cleo, and anyone else who's in Norman's little sphere is. I think Pond's in a different version of it. If she is. Now, granted, Bundy doesn't seem to think necessarily that's the case. But with the screams, I don't know.
To the ferryman idea, I think that's slightly more accurate.
Chat, my
Just because
ideas
somebody
bubbling.
fills a deal doesn't mean that the souls that they are completing the deals for leave or purgatory or not. That is still their choice.
He's a psychopomp. That's what it is. Am I speaking Greek here and people aren't familiar?
I know what a psychopomp is.
Okay. Well, I figured you would. It's you.
You guys are nerds. What was a psychopomp?
Yeah, psychopompus, Greek word, means guide of souls.
If we're looking like classical culture,
They don't judge
have
the
you seen
deceased, they guide them.
Supernatural, Dark?
No.
Okay, never mind. Let me look older classical culture one sec.
Well, are you familiar with Hermes and his role in guiding souls?
Homies, I've heard. I didn't know he guided souls though. No.
Yeah. That's why he was the messenger of the gods. He would ferry them to the gates of Hades. But psychopomps can be literally any creature, spirit, angel, demon, anything like that. But all you gotta do is you just...
Dark, did you watch Touched by an Angel? That seems like your kind of show.
No, I didn't. But you are probably right. That's on my list.
Sorry, I'm just looking through the tropes and trying to find a TV show that sounds
Yeah.
like you would have watched it.
In Christianity, here I'm kind of thinking about this as well. Saint Peter, Michael,
Mm-hmm.
Davy Jones.
yeah, Davy Jones is the one. The reason he's very like Davy Jones. Do you fear death? Do you fear the dark beyond? You know,
This is
that
the
sort of-
thing. I completely understand what you guys are saying as the ferryman, and I think
Well, a ferryman isn't technically a psychopomp. He's
Well-
just a ferryman to get people to Styx, from across Styx to Asphodel.
well, like getting the souls
I mean,
to
honestly,
the right place.
Peter Pan is a good example from class.
Yeah.
Like he takes children
Hey, Sam.
away, basically, you know, like he takes them to where they belong rather than where they were. Like the whole Lost Boys are actually dead and Peter Pan took them theory, if you hold to that. Like that's a great example.
This is the thing.
Sorry, I'm just nerding out right now.
Is that I think that that idea of the psychopomp was what Death probably was. And I think Norman has inherited that role. But I'm under the impression that the previous whatever word, let's just call it the ferryman. The previous ferryman was not a psychopath, and Norman is.
Here's the thing. Who says there's a previous? Like, it's possible there's more than one. It's possible that Norman is only
One of many.
one of
Yeah.
many and he's only here for a certain kind of people. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of cops have a lot of blood on their hands. I don't know about Pond specifically. Like, I'm not trying to blame her for anything in this case. I'm just saying.
I don't think he had. I don't think Bones had a hand in bringing Pond in, and I'll talk to you about my reasoning later.
Okay.
Just you and me. But I don't think Pond's related to that.
I just feel like all this stuff with the Highwayman and the Chicken Man and Norman and all these deals, I
Sorry, the
feel
Chicken Man. You talking about the statues and the frickin'
Yeah, I don't think
Courthouse?
that's related.
it is 100%
I
related.
gotta go.
It's related as well. Oh my.
Yes.
Who's here?
Storm.
I didn't know we were doing that now. Okay.
What are we doing?
Apparently talking to Storm.
Who's Storm? Peyton?
Yeah.
How was she involved?
She's been dating Cody, and she's also been at the center of a lot of really weird events recently.
Dating who? Sorry.
Pez, sorry.
Yes, Winston, the Chicken Man, as far as I'm aware, made a deal with Norman Bones and is also the equivalent of the Highwayman in that he's invulnerable. But as of recently, I believe Richard is acting on his own accord and is not on the best terms with Bones.
It's starting to be a whole pantheon.
Did you just
The new
call
gods of Los Santos.
the Chicken Man Richard?
Yeah, his name's Richard.
I'm gonna go help Odessa.
All right.
I think I've had enough of the supernatural for today.
I don't think you can avoid it, Dad.